We're continuing with Charming After 5, the romance novel. We're in chapter 10. Finn sits alone waiting for her friends to arrive. They are late, but that's okay. She needs time to think. She has been so upset about Tuesday's turn of events. Usually it's no problem at all when she has to fill in for her sister. But she made a mess of things the other day, and she knows it. The only good thing to come of the debacle is that she is seeing her sister's reasoning a little clearer. She never realized the battle she faced with the Westin Mutual Board of Directors. She tried her best to cover for Quinn, but knows she only messed things up really bad for her. They made her feel incompetent and that her position with the company was at stake, literally. She herself may not be accounting vice president material, but her sister is very capable, and she knows that. And she's proud of her, Quinn. Now she doesn't know how to help Quinn get out of the mess that she's made for her. The twin switching is not as easy as it used to be when they were kids. There are higher stakes and more compromising situations now. Quinn may have a handle on it all, but she doesn't think she can keep it up much any longer. Hopefully tonight will provide her with the distraction that she needs. Jonathan enters the restaurant and doesn't see Quinn. It's crowded, but it's Friday night, and so that's expected. He's gone to the counter and ordered and patiently is waiting for his food. It wasn't that he liked the food from the other night, but he just needs an excuse to be there. He watches the door, hoping to see her enter. The waiter said it would be about 15 minutes until his food would be ready, and it's been all of that, and he thinks maybe she's not coming in that night. He scans the restaurant again and sees that she is sitting over there in the back corner. Their eyes meet and they smile at one another. He knows to look away but can't stop staring at her. He knows it's not polite, but he can't help himself. The cashier has to tap him on the shoulder to give him his bag of food. He looks back over at his boss. That's it. He's going to talk to her. He has to. He slowly starts making his way through the crowd of people. He reminds himself to be cool, though he is anything but feeling cool at this very moment. Suddenly he's there, standing at the table, pushed up against it by the crowd that's pressing on his backside, and he's almost on top of her now, lording over her. Her voice is not at all like her office voice. It's soft, it's low, it's sweet as honey. "Have we met, sir?" she asks. Jonathan laughs, thinking she's being facetious. Maybe she's been drinking. "Well, you have a sense of humor after all. That's nice. Excuse me? Wait, we have met then?" Finn tries to place where she could have met him and realizes it's maybe her sister's connection. Obviously, she's always being mistaken for Quinn. "Okay, have it your way. Hello, I'm Jonathan Waters." Warning bells go off in Finn's head. This is the Jonathan Waters her sister had warned her about. The one that left the latte and the note that Tuesday morning when she was in the office. And he thinks he's talking to her sister, to Quinn. She hurries to compose herself and figure out how to handle the situation. She should be used to this, but it throws her every time someone mistakes her for her sister in any atmosphere but the office. "Oh, yes, Jonathan Waters. It's just so dark in here, you know. I'm just waiting on some friends, and they're late." Finn straightens a bit and cools her voice some. He can't figure her out. She acts a bit nervous, and it's strange, the conversation they're having. It's not going at all like he imagined. But Jonathan has to admit to himself that he had no idea how it would go after he foiled a part of her plans this week to oust him. He's surprised that she's even deciding to speak to him at this moment. Finn is debating on whether to pull a Quinn and order him to leave, but instead decides to find out more about this new employee that she is supposed to be helping to destroy. "Oh, I see you have food. This food is definitely not edible if it's cold. It's barely edible when it's warm. Sit down. Go ahead. You can eat. I don't mind." She kind of stares blankly at the empty seat. No, this is for my friend. He can reheat it later. I'm not hungry, not in the least. Jonathan smiles as he sits down, excited that she invited him to stay. She points at the bag. Is your friend a fan of this food? Oh no, but he'll eat just anything I put in front of him. He's a gourmet chef, actually, but he'll eat just about anything. Then he critiques it afterwards, Jonathan adds, and laughs. She almost laughs, but she stops herself. He smiles, she smiles, dropping her guard for just a moment. He is enamored with her even more. Even your voice is much different, Jonathan notes. Finn is getting nervous and feels that she is going to get caught. Luckily, all of her other friends arrive just at that perfect moment, because she didn't know what to say. There they are, finally, she exclaims. Several people enter the restaurant. She jumps up and waves to them. Jonathan sighs, disappointed. Their first encounter outside the workplace has been very strange. He stands to give them their seats that she has been saving for them. Well, I must get this food off to my friend. Jonathan holds up the greasy bag of food. Finn barely looks his way as she is preoccupied with greeting her friends. Right, okay. I'm going now. Bye. Jonathan says to no one in particular. He leaves with the cold supper. In the apartment, he eats the greasy cold burger, making a sour face the whole time. Bernie is at the microwave, and it dings. He comes in and flops down and stuffs his mouth with the rest of the lousy food that Jonathan had bought for two. I thought I told you that you shouldn't eat at this place again, but man, job hunting is a bear, especially at restaurants, and it makes me so hungry too, seeing all that food being prepared. Hey, why don't I work at Joey's Bistro? No way. That place is too strange. People are strange there. Even her voice was strange. It's so weird. Jonathan is speaking in short sentences and very confused, not knowing what to think. So you saw her tonight? You spoke with her? I spoke with her, yes, Jonathan admitted. Bernie inquires, didn't I tell you to stay away, as far away from that girl as possible? Yeah, I should have listened to you too. I'm more confused than ever now about that woman. You've always been level-headed, John. I might add even calculating when it comes to your relationships, but now you're like a mess. It's very unsettling for me to watch. You've always been my rock, man. Bernie's comments get no response out of Jonathan. He tries to reason with his friend another way. Listen, you have to let this fantasy alone. Let it go, man. Let her go. Fantasy, not reality. If you get mixed up with her, lose your job, where will we be? Jonathan snaps. Get a job, Burns. Is that any way to talk to me? I've been pounding the pavement all day long. Burns is insulted. Just then, Jonathan remembers what else happened earlier in the day. Oh, I made a really stupid mistake today. Besides talking to the redhead, okay, tell me, what else happened? I told two excited women to plan our double date. How ridiculous was that? That one night alone could end up costing me a fortune. I let them plan it. So, you don't know yet where we are taking them? I was so excited when you called and said she agreed to go out with me. I wished I knew what was going on. I wished I know now where we're going. And I promise, John, I'll pay you back, I will, because this means a lot to me. I'll pay every penny. Oh, you better believe you will, Jonathan insisted. Seriously, I will. Wait right here, Bernie shouts as he leaves the room. Well, where would I go? Bernie rushes out of the room and returns with a roll of toilet paper. He holds it up and points to it. Jonathan looks at him, stumped. Clueless, he shrugs his shoulders and holds it up in his arms and holds up his arms in surrender. Okay, I don't understand. I give. Not in the mood for your pantomime games right now. Bernie tosses the roll John's way, and it lands in his lap of half-eaten food. Here, catch. Sheesh, Burns. Why are you throwing toilet paper at me and on my food? Jonathan is starting to think everyone around him has lost it. Well, if you just look at it, I thought you'd appreciate what I have here. Bernie urges John on and points to the toilet paper roll. I'm in no mood for this silliness, Burns. Humor me, please. Unroll it. Go on. Jonathan slowly unrolls the toilet paper and begins to read what's written down on the different sections. He laughs and keeps unrolling, holding the roll in the air as he unwinds it. Bernie smiles. Jonathan's not sure what's going on. Bernie, this is not necessary, really. This is one very concise accounting system, though, and I am impressed. Jonathan keeps looking over all the numbers. Yes, it is. And yes, it is necessary. I'm paying you back, man. I'm paying every red cent that's accounted for on that toilet paper roll. My share of the rent, the food, the spices, all of it. Perforated sections are the different weeks, you know. Got it all down. Each of them are penciled, each item from day one. When I come back into that big wad of cash that I'm expecting, you're going to get every cent back. And friends don't charge friends interest, though, right? Jonathan laughs. Didn't you say that there's an uncle of yours that has to die first? We're doing all right as long as I don't get fired, Burns. Just concentrate on getting a job and then eventually your own place. You don't want to bring Babs back here on that special evening with me in here too. Bernie is going over the roll to make sure he hasn't forgotten anything. See here? Last night's dinner even, right up to date. Tonight's is going right here on this next section after the perforation. Though it was pretty awful. They should pay us to eat there, you know. Very thorough, Burns. Good job. Old Uncle Burns teetering on the edge between earth and heaven right now, even as we speak. Bless his dear old soul. Don't count your inheritance before it's... Jonathan is interrupted before he can finish his mixed-up quote. Is it my fault that my uncle has smoked all his life and didn't ever have any children? I'm the only one that's been named after him. I used to hate that, but now I'm kind of okay with it, and I just happen to be his favorite nephew. This is my fate, man. Bernie spills it out. And his. Well, this role really has impressed me. You do have goals, and you have a conscience. It's great to see that in you. You're a real friend, Burns. You're just waiting for your uncle to keel over to fulfill your responsibilities. Really big of you. I know I should get any job that pays right now. It's just, look at it this way. I mean, when you're out of work, did you go around to small businesses with only 3 employees? No. You applied at big corporate offices. Conglomerates even. I just can't bring myself to work at a fast food joint. It's like going back to first grade when I graduated from college. You know how it is. Bernie made his declarative statement. I realize this, Bern. And you mentioned Joey's Bistro. I don't see that as fast food, you know. Not that joint, do you? It's got a nice atmosphere in there. The only problem with the place is their chef. Their chef doesn't make good food. Jonathan doesn't know if he can finish what's still on his plate even. The colder it gets, the worse it tastes. Yeah, it's bad. Besides, maybe I would get to see Stacy Babes, since she works so close there. Bernie smiles. Aha! The truth comes out. You haven't even met her yet, so slow down, fella. This upcoming date with her, that amount's going down on this sheet right here. Let's make it one to remember. I got plenty of room. The section's all blank. I can write in a big number just for Stacy Babes. Easy for you to say. You just have to write it down on that roll of toilet paper. I have to pull it out of my pocket, Jonathan emphasized. True, but not for long. Bernie said that quite confidently. Anyway, so you saw the redhead after work, but how did the workday go? Jonathan ditches the last of his meal in the trash. She wasn't happy to see me doing my job and to learn that Stacy was on her game and doing her job. I could tell we ticked her off big time, although she didn't say too much. Her mind was reeling, though. She's scheming. She's scheming about something. And then at the restaurant tonight, she acts like we never even met yet until I introduced myself. All in all, it was an awkward and weird conversation we had. Maybe she'd been drinking already. I thought that myself. That would explain some things. Bernie stands, stretches up his arms, and his shirt goes up, exposing his belly. He pats his wide stomach and turns around in a circle. Jonathan is grossed out and would really like to say something about the way his friend has let himself go, but how was he to do that? You know, Burns, women like a man that takes care of himself. You might want to do something about some things, Jonathan admonishes him. And that includes your soul, apparently, with Stacy. It seems she's a devout Christian or something, or at least religious. I thought you should know what you're getting yourself into. Hey, what's wrong with this sweet hunk of meat? Bernie jokes. Seriously, though, I want to settle down and have a family, and it's time to think about going down that straight and narrow road. Go to church, though. Oh, sure, I can do that for her. And a sweet girl just is what I've been looking for. That's what I want nowadays. Those other women would rob me blind, not going to get all my inheritance from my Uncle Bernie. Other women like my sister, you mean? Yes, exactly like your sister. I need a sweet girl that would care for me, not for my money, when I get it. Your sister would have spent it all and left me in a heartbeat. I'm glad I got away from her in time. I'm sorry it all turned out that way, Burns. But it did turn out for the better. I know, it just hurt really bad for a while. I really cared about her, you know. I hope I can find someone that I can trust and have a future with. Maybe Stacy will be the one, Bernie muses. Jonathan deals straight with his friend. Then get a job. Show her that you are the responsible type before that load of money comes rolling in. She doesn't need to know that you're a freeloader, and do not tell her about it even. She'll see you as needy, if not lazy, and sliding through life. She can't support the both of you on what she makes. I know. And if Quinn does terminate her, Jonathan doesn't finish his sentence. Bernie bends low right in front of Jonathan, glaring. His face turns really serious. Jonathan scoots back into the couch cushion to avoid Bernie's onion breath. Would it help if I just slap you silly every time you don't finish your sentence? Bernie suggests. Fine, because then I'll have an excuse to pound you into the carpet. Good way to vent all of this pent-up anger and frustration over that redhead girl. Jonathan chuckles nervously, not quite sure how serious Bernie is on his offer. Just let me know. I'm ready whenever. Bernie acts so bold. I just need to figure out my next step and find out what hers is at the same time. My boss, you know. Jonathan is resolved. Bernie sits back, his head in his hands. He moans. Jonathan doesn't know what to think. Maybe Bernie is getting sick from the lousy food they just ate. John, I may sound a bit inconsistent with all I've been saying up to this point, but I'm thinking you probably should. Yeah, Bernie can't make himself to finish his sentence, to say what he's thinking out loud. Oh no, not you too, Burns. Please spit it out. Jonathan is pleading. Have you ever heard of that old saying, keep your friends close and your enemies closer? Bernie asked. Yeah, so? Jonathan has no clue where he's going with that. You're going to have to date your crazy boss, my friend. It's the only way to save both your jobs, yours and Babs. And so now you're giving me your blessing? I may ask her out? Jonathan is surprised at Bernie's comment. Actually, it's more like an order. You got to get in there close. You got to tame that she-tiger. Save Stacy's job and your career. It's the only noble thing to do. Right, tame the she-tiger. Jonathan nods agreeingly. May give you back some of your sanity, too, 'cause you're all but lost it over her, my man. Bernie shakes his head, chuckling. Friends close and enemies closer. But this she-tiger could just possibly transform into something else entirely when we're on that date. Could turn out to be death-defying, like a black widow spider experience for me. Black widow spider? Don't they eat their male counterparts alive? Ouch! Jonathan is not so confident about this new plan that his friend Bernie has suggested. This is the end of chapter 10. We'll continue with chapter 11 of the comedy romance Charming After 5 in the next audio reading.